Hey guys, this is the first inaugural podcast between Poppycock Reviews and GamersSphere. And with these two websites collaborating, we decided to do a podcast together. And yeah, this is going to be the first one that we got going on. So Jimmy and Cassie, why don't you go ahead and take it away? These are two of the owners of podcasts, or co-owners, whatnot. And they're going to go ahead and kick us off. Go ahead, guys.
All right. Hi, I am Cassie Gatto. I am the editor-in-chief of PoppycockReviews.com. And this is Jimmy.
I'm the CEO and founder of Poppycock Reviews.
We've been around for, I guess, 3 years now at that URL, PoppycockReviews.com, and we've been kind of slowly building it over the years. And this partnership with GamersSphere is we're really looking forward to it, to working with all these great bunch of folks. So Zach is one of our writers and our YouTube expert.
I'm actually president, executive, CEO, founder, owner.
Yeah,
and,
you just cover it all.
Yeah, I run. If you've ever seen Undercover Boss, I'm kind of letting Jimmy, think he's the owner right now. But some call me the Blue Spectre because I'm blue. If you guys didn't notice by my little profile picture there. But yeah, I'm an editor over at or not an editor. I'm sorry, a reviewer, a writer over at Poppycock Reviews. I kind of started managing the YouTube channel a little bit recently. So we're trying to get that kicked off as well, youtube.com/Poppycock Reviews, in case you guys wanted to check it out. But yeah, so I'm just a lowly writer. Don't pay me no mind.
Clearly.
And then we're joined by the GamerSphere side of things, led by Eric. Eric, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello everyone. I'm Eric. That's my real name, but I normally go by John Heats. Actually, my friends, some of my closest friends, already call me John. I'm the founder, and still in the words of Jimmy here, I'm the CEO and editor-in-chief from GamersSphere. We have been around not for as much as Poppycock Reviews. We have just started basically. We started GamerSphere on January, and there's quite a lot of writers on our end that are pretty good, and I'm accompanied by two of them right now, which are Ophelia and Shane. Why don't you go ahead, guys?
Go right ahead, Shane.
All right, then. My name's Shane, and I write for games, mainly the MMO side of the house. I don't really do much FPS anymore, except for PlanetSide. That's my one holdout, really. And yeah, I like games like chess as well. So old school and new school, the full spectrum there. And I also like to dance. Dancing's a lot of fun.
That's new.
You haven't lived until
like
you've seen
dancing,
Shane.
Salsa dancing's my two things that I do.
Yeah, you have not experienced life until you've seen Shane play Dance Dance Revolution. Watch that body shake. Oh man.
I suck at DDR, I really do. But when it comes to salsa and East Coast swing.
Here's the question though: Can you twerk? Can you twerk?
You see those hips a moving, you better be ready.
I know, right?
That's pretty much me.
And then we've got Ophelia over here from GamerSphere as well.
Okay, I am Ophelia Blue. I write for GamerSphere. I mostly do reviews. I stream a lot, and I'm doing Let's Plays. I guess that's about it.
I actually don't think I said my name. I call myself the Blue Spectre. If you guys don't know, I'm Zach LeBeau. I also go by Wraith if you want to go and call me Wraith, because my own personal YouTube channel over there. But yeah, that's my name, and then we got Ophelia. We got John Heats over here. I apologize. So John Heats. We got Shane. We got Cassie on the right there on your screen, and Jimmy on the left. And so yeah, this is the first podcast that we're gonna be bringing you guys. First of many, hopefully. You guys hoping we're gonna be doing some more of this?
Definitely.
Probably.
Sure.
Good idea.
Okay, we got two definitely's, a probably, and a sure. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and kick this off. Why don't you guys go ahead and explain how you found each other? So I guess this would be for John and Cassie and Jimmy, how did you guys start collaborating? How did you guys get what's the story there?
Well, basically, on my end, I started the site on back in June 2013, and it was it was started as janhits.com. It was just everything done by myself. I was covering news, reviews, videos, screenshots, and all those sort of things. Well, I started doing that. I started obviously following some really nice sites that covered the gaming industry as a whole. I stumbled across Poppycock Reviews, and well, I started checking it out a little bit, then a little bit more, and then a little bit more.
And then after
And
that, just a little bit more.
basically, yeah. And when I decided to expand the site a little bit, then I just had to contact PCR in order to try and get some sort of partnership. I was hoping for it. Gladly, it happened in the end. And and actually, we started talking about that. Well, I started talking about it with Cassie um, some months ago before GamersSphere was actually launched. It was still janhits.com. And with that, we actually were able to start GamerSphere after I got into talking with different writers around the blogosphere, such as V from Verbal Spew, and I had Ryan Neese from Gamers Therapy. Well, Ophelia actually was kind of an interesting contact there because she was the first one contacting me, and it wasn't really about uh, writing on the site, right, Ophelia?
Yeah, it was more of a collaboration thing, kind of.
Yeah. And here she is writing on Gamersphere now. Um, then, well, more people joined up, such as Brad, Omar Jackson, which is known as Draculus23, with his wife, Lunalaya. And I know I'm missing people, but the last one to join us was Shane in here, Lancer, right?
Yeah, I go by Lanzer, and Lanzer is my game name, so I decided to make it my writer name as well. Why not?
And well, in there, basically we decided we talked a little bit more, Cassie and I, about our partnership, and here we are. We decided to go a little bit further, and a few of you guys have already joined on the Gamersphere, and well, we're just working to get things going.
Definitely. I was very excited when Eric contacted me, or John contacted me, about the partnership because, well, one, I was excited that somebody actually noticed our website, um, because we started back when I think I was still in high school when we started Poppycock Reviews, so
This was a while ago.
that was a while ago, and time has been an issue because when it started, it was, me and Jimmy, obviously, and James, our friend, is one of the co-founders, and Kevin Wynn, he's a co-founder too. So it was just kind of the four of us, and when it first started, and it was, I mean, I was writing like a lot and doing a lot, and school is school kind of gets in the way, although school comes first, but
Oh, absolutely not. School is the
Yeah.
least important thing. Anybody listening, just so you know, drop out of school as fast as you can. Play more video games, all right? Start right now.
I wish I could.
But just on weekends.
Just on weekends.
Yeah. On top of having James and Kevin, we also have two other people, Tom and Kang.
Yeah, they joined a little later.
Another guy named Sean. Joined a little later. Met through school.
Met him when I went to Del Tech, where I got my associate's degree. Actually, I met Sean in my I don't remember what class it was. I think news writing 2 or something. But I actually told him. I think he saw like I had a video game shirt on one day or something, and we started talking about. I said, oh, I got this website, and he told me he was interested in games journalism, and it kind of hit off from there. And we met Zach, who was here, the little blue man.
Yeah, see, I've heard a lot about this Zach LeBeau. He's really cool. I've heard so much about him. I'm so interested. How did you meet this Zach LeBeau? I mean, he's just like the coolest dude. Like, how do you get in contact with somebody of such a high prestige?
It is a funny story, actually.
It was actually a day I had just gotten off work at Camden GameStop. When I used to work at GameStop, 4 different ones actually. I would travel back and forth to 4 different GameStops.
A mercenary of sorts, if you will.
And on her day off, when I got off on her day off, went over to Camden Walmart, and what we do when we get bored is going to the electronic section where the TVs and games are, and that is where we ran into actually Zach.
What? You're saying that Zach was at Walmart in the electronics section? What was he doing there? That's crazy.
Where else would
Gee, I wonder. Talking to this group of people.
And I know a lot of people are going to have questions on how the name Poppycock Reviews
definitely
arose, since it's actually so random and unique, and actually has nothing to do with video games at all.
I don't think anybody. I think everybody thinks that makes perfect sense. I mean, what else do you name a website for Poppycock?
But like Rooster Teeth. I mean, that doesn't really make sense.
It actually
either.
started on, I guess it was about 5 years ago, when we started bringing up ideas of starting at least something in the video game industry, but we weren't actually sure. And actually, when I first started doing stuff in video games, I actually started developing. Was actually my first priority. Me and James actually developed a couple RPGs. One of them, really weird, was actually about fighting Dave Mustaine from Megadeth.
Okay.
It was actually one weird game that led to another thing. I mean, it had a bunch of random parts in it where if you...
Now, are the games... Do you still do that? Is that still something you're interested in, or...?
I haven't done it in a long time. Maybe a couple years. It's been a while since I've actually done it. And after we actually made a couple games, we had an idea of actually reviewing games instead of making them, since we really weren't getting anywhere with actually making them.
At least you're honest about it.
But we didn't know what to call ourselves, and we wanted it to be something unique. So actually, on a day when we were sitting around playing games, honestly thinking about what to call ourselves, it actually just popped into my head, and it kind of stuck, was the fact that we were actually eating Poppycock popcorn at the time.
They were eating poppy seeds, and they were just like, you know what? We love cock so much that we just got to put it in the title somewhere.
Oh my god.
I said Poppycock Reviews, and it kind of just fell into place, and that kind of became the name. And the next thing we know, Kevin would be one of our artists. He has the drawing pad hooked up to his computer, loves to draw. Maybe not even a week later, he sent us a prototype of our first symbol, or logo, which was actually Atari 2600 joystick with sort of like a rooster built onto that joystick. And then it just stuck.
It just spiraled from there.
Yeah.
It did.
Nah, I like that. That's cool. I really like. I actually never heard that story. I'm kind of ashamed to say that as somebody from PoppycockReviews.com. It's a little bit awkward. I didn't know that story.
One of the things that I do actually for the Poppycock, I did start doing writing. I tried to keep myself into actually everything rather than just one genre. Not only do I do video games, I also like to try to throw in electronics as well. Sort of, I guess
sort of the Godfather, if you will.
The inspiration of the electronics would probably come from the At Gamer section magazine, the electronics section, where they actually review new and upcoming electronics, counting sound systems, video games, TVs, just anything that had a motherboard in it.
Yeah, at Gamer Magazine is Best Buy's gaming magazine, if you don't know.
But one of my most favorite things to do would be certain Let's Play videos, which are collaborated with James himself, which we actually started doing a long time ago. But we just actually started releasing them on YouTube because they actually started getting good enough to actually watch. And the inspiration of that would be from Machinima's Two Best Friends Play.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, I also do a little bit of a Let's Play something, but I don't actually record with anybody else because I don't play well with others. I don't like other people. I mean, they kind of suck. I mean, see, if I were to get into a game with Jimmy, I'd just be shitting on him the whole time, and he wouldn't have fun. So I mean. No, it's like I do a lot of collaborations actually on my own personal YouTube channel, and I actually started, recently uploading to Poppycock Reviews, their YouTube channel. Kind of doing a Let's Play. I started a new series. If you guys want to check it out, it's called Review Through. I basically play through a game, a new game, old game, whatever it is. I'll play through it, upload, all of the videos of me playing through it. And at the very end, accompanied with the last episode, will be a video review of the game itself, and then the written review will be on poppycockreviews.com. So I'm hoping that's kind of going to be like a little bit of a series that a long-standing series for the YouTube and the website that we can springboard off of into fame and IGN type status of
Yes.
awesomeness. Actually, wait, no, what am I talking about? We're better than IGN. Fuck IGN.
That's the spirit.
And then we're gonna envelop GamersSphere so they're never ever a whisper in the night again.
Jeez.
And then they'll be working for
I don't know
Poppycock.
how I feel about
No,
that.
you'll be working for us, so you're good. It'll be working for us. And then John Heats over here. John Heats isn't gonna be able to. He's not gonna be able to give up his throne. So he'll be on the streets. He'll be panhandling for change.
That sounds like a plan.
That sounds like a plan.
We show immense amounts of love with each other.
No, definitely. They're an awesome website. If you guys don't know, GamersSphere does a lot of also, like Jimmy was saying, how he likes doing a lot of electronics and stuff. They also envelop a lot of the game industry as well as a couple other subjects. So if you guys don't know about them, go check them out. Definitely, they're an awesome website. Got a lot of info. I actually learned something useful today. Apparently, Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 2 is coming out on March 3rd. So before you say anything about Walking, before you ask any questions, go over there and check the website first. You might get shit on if you don't. So be real careful about that.
In order for everyone to understand that, they need to wait for Zach to upload the pre-show, in which, Zach didn't have the greatest time because he didn't check us
Apparently,
out.
I got pinned for everything in the pre-show.
Yeah.
Apparently. If you guys want to check out the pre-show, it'll be, I don't know if we're going to be uploading it to Poppycock Reviews, but it'll definitely be on my own personal channel, youtube.com/zrather. And then the podcast, if you can't catch it live, it'll definitely be on our website as well as the YouTube channel, Poppycock Reviews. I don't know what GamerSphere is doing it. I know they don't like us all that much, so they probably be like, man, I'm going to trash this file. I don't like them anyway.
We just got a viewer.
We hate you guys.
You just have to send over the whole thing, and we'll definitely upload it to GamerSphere.
I'll send it to you
YouTube
guys.
channel.
Yeah.
One thing I would like to do with both sites is actually get promote both sites' Let's Play videos.
There you go. That's awesome. Yeah.
So Let's Play videos that GamerSphere does, I would like to have on the Poppycock site as well as Poppycock videos on the GamerSphere site.
See, what I think we should do is I think we should have a little cross recording here, so we can get some of the GamerSphere people recording with me and a couple other people that do the videos, and
I'd totally be up for that.
Well, not you. I actually don't want to record with you. I was talking about Shane.
Okay.
I didn't want to address the elephant in the room.
Is this because I'm a girl? Is this because I'm a girl?
You have to understand that Zach gets scared when he's around a girl, so.
I understand.
I get all nervous and sweaty, and it's like I don't know what to say or do
Just see
something.
that he's an alien.
It's okay, Zach.
I can understand that.
It's okay, Zach. It'll happen one day.
See, that's why I'm so much more comfortable recording with Shane. Look how nice he is to me. Like he's supportive.
That's right.
See, we have a bromance in here already.
Oh boy.
See, if I had a video, I'd put my head next to Shane's, but obviously my blue alien body.
I would
Can't.
knock you out.
What the fuck? So on that note, Ophelia, what do you want to record sometime? Because apparently Shane doesn't like gameplay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, there we go. Perfect.
I'm currently working on a Let's Play of Resident Evil 5 that I'm playing with a friend. We're still going through files and all that shit, but
Nice.
working on that. And if anybody from either from Poppycock Reviews or from GamersSphere wants to see a game Let's Played, anything, I will play anything as long as my computer will run it. Hit me up and I'll be all over that.
Definitely.
For sure.
I've got that Master Race PC going on here. I like it.
Yeah, we've been on a kick lately where we are playing really bad games just because they're so bad they're hilarious. Example, Ride to Hell Retribution.
Is one of them. I'm actually
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Dude, it is
a very unique game, yet it is so bad that it keeps you in the game.
Now, have you guys ever played Two Worlds?
That's its genius.
I actually
this guy.
I couldn't play it.
I think I've clocked over 240 hours into it.
Bullshit.
Oh my god.
I put that
Yeah.
game in my system and it spit back out at me.
I ain't playing this shit.
That actually happened to me. I got it on a sale and I tried to install it and my computer almost cheated me.
I actually played it on 360 when it first came out, so I had the really bad version.
Oh.
You should.
And I 100% completed it.
Jesus, you trooper.
I know.
The thing is that I'm missing 2 achievements because there's a glitch in the game that at the time, for me to get those achievements again, I would have to totally replay the whole game from beginning.
Oh.
But
Ow,
after 2
ow.
hours of gameplay, it means that you loved it. So
I actually did like it.
Yeah, he did.
It's a guilty pleasure of mine.
Extremely guilty.
I actually played it so much that when I got to the final boss, I killed him in 1 hit.
God damn.
damn.
I'm surprised you got to the final boss at all, let alone the fact that
I know.
And I will be doing Let's Play videos of that game.
Please don't. Please don't.
Um,
Save us.
and I will be comparing it to Two Worlds 2, which actually is a decent game. It's actually it fixes everything of Two Worlds in the second one. It's still not great though, but
A lot better than the first.
a lot better than the first.
Which isn't saying much, but it is better. I
Very
mean,
true.
And,
Yeah.
and one thing you're going to see on my Let's Play videos is one game that you're going to see me playing a lot would be Dark Souls. Especially Dark Souls 2 coming up. I'm going to try my best to do a walkthrough.
Oh, speaking of Dark Souls 2, Ophelia, you want to get in on that Dark Souls 2 action? I'll get it. I'll get it on PC and we can play that.
Okay.
Let's do it. But yeah, that's
I'm all
enough
for
with
that.
That's enough with the Let's Play YouTube side of things. We kind of also want this podcast to be a little bit of a informational type as well as a conversation, you know. But we got a couple of subjects here lined up to steer us in the right direction. I don't know what you guys have lined up, but I kind of wanted to talk about the irrational thing with them just like basically just shutting their doors. Like, what is going on down there?
Oh yeah.
The what?
Irrational Games.
What do you mean the what? Read GameSphere. Come on, like, what's wrong with you, Shane?
And Poppycock Reviews. We have it up.
and,
And Poppycock Reviews.
Post to GamersSphere, okay? What do you want from me?
No, but apparently, if you guys didn't know, apparently, Irrational Games, who made the first BioShock and BioShock Infinite, they just laid off like all but 15 employees, and I think they built up to I think around 50, I want to say, and then they just laid a bunch of people off, and now they have about 15. I can't remember. I think his name is Ken Levine. I think is the founder. Yeah. Okay. So Ken Levine stated that he was shifting his focus to like a smaller type project with what was it, 2K or?
It's
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
it's still 2K.
Yeah.
He's still staying with
it's
2K, but it's like he's like starting like a small, more like independent kind of studio. It seems.
How do you guys feel about that?
I don't see how that could be beneficial, especially with how big BioShock Infinite was and how good of a game that was, and how I just don't see how that could be beneficial. You could take that momentum and run with it, and they're just kind of like, nope, we're gonna just shut down.
Well, I see I think he was thinking. I'm just kind of putting myself in his shoes. What I'm thinking is that he, spent however, I think 4 or 5 years developing BioShock Infinite. Like, that game had a long production cycle.
Yeah.
And it was an awesome game. You're not wrong. It was an amazing game. But because it cost so many resources and everything, even the amount of seals that they got, they didn't get how much they would like to have had. And by shifting their focus to a smaller studio, still making quality games, they can up their profit margin by a ton, just reducing the team and the production cycle.
But are you saying that they didn't make any profit off of?
Oh no! They made a lot of profit, but not as much as they could possibly get by laying people off and making smaller, shorter games and
yeah, I
focusing.
get what you're saying.
Sure gains instead of having to develop something for 5 years and like, well, is this going to be a big hit? Is it not going to be a big hit?
Yeah.
And when it comes out, it was a big hit, but the amount of resources that they put into it didn't measure up to how much profit they got off.
And you run the risk too of it not being a big hit, like Shane was saying. Like, you run the risk.
I just gonna do a little correction in here. It's not with 2K Games. It's with Take-Two.
Take-Two. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, apparently my information, as I say, we're trying to be an informational podcast. I spew misinformation.
I don't know. I feel like they're just gonna end up one of those companies that's just gonna be like, oh, they made these amazing games and now they're making like Flappy Bird knockoffs.
I agree. I agree.
know?
I think that's the way it's gonna go. I think it's very unfortunate because I think Ophelia's right. I mean, while it does make sense for them to do it, I feel like they're just gonna kind of wither away and just like, what happened? Like, what are you doing now? Like, seriously?
Yeah.
Because I mean.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I was just gonna say, it's not only Irrational Games that's taking a hit into it. Sony recently announced that they're dropping a big chunk of Santa Monica Studios. They're closing a whole section down.
Yeah.
And there's also some Sony stores as well.
Yeah,
due to the closing of Sony stores, I actually used to work for Sony, so I actually know the answer.
We have first-hand experience with
why they're closing. For many people that actually know Sony Bio is officially gone. They got rid of it. It's no
time.
more.
It's only a matter of time, really. They were good laptops, but it was only a matter of time. Like,
yeah.
And as well as big as a Sony TV fan I am, I mean, they are expensive. They still will be expensive. But to try to make them more affordable, they actually split the company, the TV part, in half. So it's going to be collaborating with another section of a brand new Sony company with the old TV company. And the part where this actually affects the Sony TVs is you're going to see a dramatic difference in actually quality to make it cheaper.
Now, is that going to be a better quality or more detrimental quality?
It's going to be probably equivalent in sort of color-wise, but not so much equivalent as in performance.
See, I feel like Sony was having problems with their TV so much because Samsung getting in the TV, they're in the TV market, whatnot. I just feel like the Samsung TVs were so much higher quality than the Sony TVs, and like those were the two, top echelon. Those were the two most expensive. But then once you see, like, I feel like Samsung higher refresh rate, higher contrast ratio, all this stuff, as well as their borders. Their TVs just look slick, like they just look nice. And I feel like Samsung, like, stepping up their game in the TV department and the phone department, just really took a hit on Sony.
Well, if we look at what Sony does for PC gaming and for TVs even, is that they're all about that sleek, sexy style, and which to me is weird because I love PlayStation, I love Sony, and I feel like they took a hit to their PC gamers because they wanted their computers to look so sleek and so sexy, when they didn't really focus on, what was inside the PC.
There's got to be a balance there, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was first looking for my first laptop, and I was like, oh, I want a Sony because it's so sexy and I love it, and I ended up just getting an HP because the graphics and everything that I wanted just weren't there. I mean, yeah, it was a sexy computer, but it just didn't have the power that I needed.
Yeah, I mean,
How the
like,
hell did you find a good HP
I was about to.
laptop
I was about to ask
graphics?
that.
Like,
I was
like
a while ago.
seriously, I work for HP on the software department, but I wouldn't buy myself an HP laptop.
oh man, shots
Oh,
fired
boy.
at HP.
And it's actually the same way with me.
If it is for gaming, you seriously do not want an HP. Like,
Well, yeah,
you have to be realistic.
My HP lasted for about a year and a half, and then it just it shat itself. It just didn't work anymore, and so I had to rush, and I got my computer now, which is an Acer.
I love how I've had the
Hey,
same
me too.
shitty. I've had the same shitty like Toshiba laptop for like 7 years now. Like this thing is like, oh my goodness.
Right now, I'm on my Toshiba as well, and well, even though it has been such a struggle with software itself,
It's a trooper. It will keep going.
It's like failing on me, but without failing. Everything that is already there, it works. It just won't allow me to give anything new on the computer.
As long as the power still comes on.
Sony, though.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say about Sony is their SOE department as well got hit pretty hard. And I think that affects me probably the most because I'm the one who writes about PlanetSide 2, which SOE is the one who develops that game.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it's going to affect because I love PlanetSide 2. I mean, that thing is awesome. And it's got a pretty dedicated player base, but if they start cutting out PlanetSide 2, shit, that's one of the reasons what brought me to GamersSphere, is I had all these PlanetSide 2 articles that I was writing, and I'd had nobody to... nobody would accept me so that I could post them. I mean, I must have asked 50 different game sites.
You should have asked Jeeves.
And most of them didn't say anything back. You know, they would either ignore me or whatever. And I finally got accepted to Walk Culture. Whatculture.com. Worst decision ever. Those guys. I don't know what is wrong with their staff, but man, they are crazy, and they're British. And I didn't think that would be a big problem.
Okay, well then that makes sense.
I didn't think
they
that
are
would be a big problem.
crazy
I was like, okay,
and
they're
British.
And I
So
thought,
basically
okay, they're
everybody-
British. It's not going to be a big deal. But then they started accusing me of working for what is it called? Search SEO, which I thought they were talking about SOE, but what I didn't realize is they were talking about search engine optimization or whatever. They thought that I was a spy for SEO.
What?
And I'm like, what? I'm just putting links in my articles so that people can click them and figure out what the fuck PlanetSide 2 is, but
Oh god.
they accused me of that, and then they banned my account.
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that was ridiculous. And they're like, give it up, mate, give it up. We know you work for SEO. Like, you guys are crazy.
I don't work for Sony. What's wrong
Yeah,
with you?
so what
That's weird.
culture is nuts. Anyways, back to what I was saying originally. Yeah, SOE is... I hope they don't hit PlanetSide 2, because that game is the shit.
I feel like that game would be a lot more popular. I would definitely play it if it was on PlayStation 4, because right now I can only get it on PC, whatnot, but I have other games that I'm focusing on.
It is going to PlayStation 4, though. It's being ported over.
Yeah, and I'm saying it should have been at launch. That would have been one of the launch games that would have been like people would buy PlayStation 4 for.
Why
It's an awesome
didn't they
game.
do that though? I mean, if you think of the thought process, it's
Mainly
from Sony. Like, yo, we're gonna put out the PS4. Let's what was
Well, what
what
happened
was
was
the thought process? Like, let's
PlanetSide-
not add PlanetSide 2 to our new console. Like, hold on.
well,
I think they were-
PlanetSide 2 is
Wait a minute.
PlanetSide 2 is the sequel from PlanetSide, which wasn't owned by Sony. It was owned by some other companies a long time ago, and SOE bought the rights to it. And the reason why I think the reason why they didn't go to PlayStation right off the bat is because all the PlanetSide 1 players are all PC. So they wanted to solidify their player base first from the people who used to play PlanetSide before trying to, build up a PlayStation.
Well, and that does make sense, but PlanetSide 2 has been on PC for long enough now.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
You're right. Yeah. Definitely.
Nah, they were like, oh, Lego Marvel Avengers will hold them over. It's whatever. We can take our time with
Well,
it.
I mean, they did put Blacklight and Warframe on there, which are both similar to PlanetSide since they are.
I
only
hopped on
online.
Blacklight the other day, as a matter of fact, because I was trying to have some fun with it, and that game, everybody in the lobby had 500 milliseconds of ping. It was ridiculous.
Blacklight's like PlanetSide?
The way it actually works like PlanetSide, since
I'm asking because I don't know what Blacklight is.
Blacklight's it's a first-person shooter that's only online. So it's similar, but not as big as PlanetSide. But in my opinion, what's going to force PlanetSide to be delayed for how long it's been delayed on the PS4 is the fact that when you make a game that's only on PC and then you tell them to put it on console, they have to recode it. Because it's a different coding. You can't just put a PC disc inside a console and expect it to play it.
Well, it should.
Well,
Yeah,
and then you've got
It would be cool, but since
you've got your hardcore PC gamers too. Like, I love Warframe, and as soon as I found out that they're putting that over to
PS4?
to PS4, I was like, really?
That game's awesome on PS4. What are you talking about,
I
crazy?
was like, that's good. It's good and all, but I don't necessarily want Warframe to be a game where people automatically think, oh, PS4.
Yeah, and that's
because
what-
I played it on PC and it's an amazing game.
See, I think you're
But-
just got that master race PC mentality. Like, if
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they're trying to expand their audience, and even if somebody's like, oh, PS4, Warframe, if that's the first thing they think of, like, that's the console that they chose to experience it on. That's what they think of when they think of the game, and it has to say something about the game rather than the console.
Well,
That's
it's
true.
also
I do have
heavily
prejudice.
in it too, especially SOE. I saw an ad one day, and it was about PlanetSide 2, and there was all this great stuff about it, and then at the bottom it said, for PS4, asterisk underneath in little tiny print, also for PC. And the PC gamer's like, what the hell? It's not even out for PlanetSide, or it's not even out for PS4, and PC is the user base for PlanetSide, and here they are peddling it for PS4, like PS4 was the bigger base.
As if the PC version was like beta or something.
Yeah, as if it was like an aside when the PC version made PlanetSide. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a slap in the face.
Yeah,
Nah, see, what I think is that the PS4 people, they're so much more hardcore than the PC audience.
Whoa!
If they were
whoa,
using-
whoa!
Oh,
They
yeah,
were-
okay.
We're
You
using
got
you
me
guys as
right
guinea
here,
pigs.
man.
They're using you guys as guinea pigs so that when it comes to the PS4, I can have an amazing experience.
I want
Hey, all I
to
have to say,
Oh, I'm hurt. I'm hurt right now.
I wouldn't say
all
that
I have
it
to
would
say is for
actually be more
PS4 and
hardcore.
Xbox One, those graphics that you have for PS4 and Xbox One, yeah, PC had those graphics, I don't know, about a year ago, so you have to catch up to.
Whoa, a year ago? I think your
You
time
have to
frame
catch
is a
up.
little bit
Longer than a
subtle.
year ago.
Yeah, probably like 10 years ago. I mean,
5 years ago.
But,
Y'all are way behind.
It's going to be like this is actually when you compare a console versus PC is a developer is going to prefer a console over PC any day. Because if you look at it, how many graphics cards can you put in a PC? Each
This is
graphics
true.
card has a different coding. They have to do every single coding for each graphics card. Now, when you look at a console, one graphics card for 100 million people.
Well, and that is why, I mean, if you look at PS4 right now, they're pushing indie games. And I
Yeah.
think that's amazing. I
their
love
indie
that.
games are great too. They have a lot of quality titles.
Yeah, definitely.
But PC would definitely look the best. It's always going to look the best. I mean,
I like just being the spark that lights this powder keg right now. Anytime I say anything about PC, it's great. I can just watch you guys get mad. It's awesome.
No, I mean, like, I love consoles, but I mean, it's just that consoles are easier than PCs.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck consoles. Go PC. Somebody else get mad.
That's a race.
But it's I can't even really compare them, just because it's It's like
comparing apples to oranges at this point.
You're gonna have hardcore PC, and then you have hardcore
tiny.
consoles, and it's like one speaking a different language than the other.
Exactly. Yep. All console gamers are casual. You hear that, people? Everybody on a console is a casual.
Whoa,
gamer.
I think we might have some ragers.
I disagree.
Oh, what? What was that? You're getting. Go ahead.
I disagree.
Zach, you're the biggest troll ever.
I know.
Yeah, you are. You are just a troll.
See, you guys don't know me that well yet, but you'll realize.
I'm starting to learn you. I'm starting to learn you a little bit.
I'm actually gonna disagree with that because Dark Souls is very popular on console, and that's not for a casual gamer.
If you play anything but Dark Souls, you're a casual gamer.
No, you're just a crazy gamer.
But if we look at games like
that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my brain isn't working today.
I'm on the same
If you
boat.
look at games like Grand Theft Auto 5, never came out for the PC.
That's ridiculous shit too.
I flipped shit. I was like, by the time the release date came out, and I was like, hey, I went on Steam and I was like, I'm gonna get this game and it's gonna be awesome, and I'm like, okay.
See, Ophelia,
Guess I'm not getting this game.
If you had read GamerSphere, you would have realized it's not coming out on there.
It didn't exist yet.
I was just like praying that they would change their mind at the last second.
Well, I don't think there's any question that they're definitely going to be developing it for PC. It's coming out on PC.
There's something with Dark Souls in there for PC actually that bothers me a lot, and it's not just from the game itself, but Capcom and Namco and all those companies, and it is that they, that on PC, the main platform that we use to get games is Steam, right? And a lot of games are not showing on some countries. As you may know, I am from Costa Rica, and I am not able to get a lot of games on Steam, such as Dead Rising. I cannot get Dark Souls, and it is just because of the territory. They do not sell them, or they do not offer them for Costa Rica, and it really sucks.
Like bootleg it then?
Huh?
So do you have to like bootleg it then?
Excuse me, Shane, that would be illegal, and absolutely we would
not.
We are PC gamers. We never do anything illegal.
In Costa Rica, they have
Last time I checked, I do believe that Namco was smart enough to do the bootleg lock. Similar to my favorite bootleg lock would actually be Serious Sam 3, and I actually want to do it just because it's so awesome. What actually happens when you first start the game, the first enemy that you encounter is an infinite level scorpion that constantly says, buy the fucking game.
Wasn't there an early hack or coding for Pokemon where, like, if you walked up to someone, I don't remember which city, it was like for Pokemon Red, and they would say buy the game if it was illegal or something, or if you illegally downloaded it.
That's awesome.
That was for Pokemon Fire Red, I believe it was, that if you had it illegally, all the merchants will tell you mean things and call you a lot of names.
That's really awkward. I'm like legitimately.
That's incredibly smart.
I'm legitimately playing the Fire Red version as we're speaking, and I've never run into that shit. I'm playing it on my phone, like.
Yeah, but what if it was like a gift for a little kid's birthday, and he quits the game, and he's like, why are they saying all these bad things to me? I didn't even.
Well, honey, because your mommy's a dirty thief. That's why.
I mean, you got an 8-year-old kid who he didn't know it's bootleg. It was given to him as a gift, and then he's like, oh my gosh, these Pokemon people are really mean.
Well, but here we're probably going into the territory of SRB ratings, and at least that's where my brain is going. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I feel like the parents would never buy a bootleg copy again if that happened. They'd learn their lesson. I mean.
Yeah, that's true.
But you're talking about parents now who.
Well, a
lot of parents don't even know how to turn on a computer.
How would they find a bootleg version if they don't know how to turn on a computer?
Well, then maybe it was like an older brother or something.
Either way,
Stop being a troll.
Either way, just because the 8-year-old kid sees these Pokemon people being jerks, that's too bad. You know what? Because they're doing something illegal, or their brother, or their father, or their mother, whoever. Somebody is doing something illegal to cause that. So I really don't have any sympathy.
Or we could bring up like a creepypasta story,
Kid.
and like, you know.
Screw 8-year-old kids. I hate them. If you're an 8-year-old kid and you're watching this,
It's illegal and we shouldn't do it, and we would never ever advertise doing bootlegs.
no, Shane, that's
Absolutely
ridiculous. I know you wouldn't do that, Shane. I know you wouldn't.
We're a group of honest people here, though, aren't we?
Exactly. We got white-haired with the tie, professional tie going on here. I mean,
The thing is, like, why would you want to bootleg a PC game when you have such fantastic Steam sales?
that's true.
Yeah.
Too. That's true.
Yeah,
Unless
exactly.
you couldn't get it, I guess. But
I bootleg the PC version when you can just get it on console and it's so much better.
I mean, I think I remember when Dishonored came out for PC. It was like the first week. It was 50% off.
Oh Jesus! Oh God, that game. I love that game actually.
I do too.
I liked it too, and I have it on Steam instead of console because it's like, do I want to spend $30 or $60?
See, I feel like I should have
have
got.
it on both. I have it on my PS3 and my computer.
I bought it, I think, the first week it came out on my PS3, and then I saw it on Steam for 50% off, and I was like, you motherfucker. Bethesda, what the
That
fuck?
happens
You hate that?
all the time. You'll buy a game and then the next week it'll be 50% off. Like, holy shit.
Yep.
That's why you
That
get rid of
brings-
my console.
That brings
like
another
PlayStation
topic to talk about. You know, I was reading some weeks ago about an article. I don't really remember where I was reading it, but it was talking about if Steam sales are actually hurting the sales from smaller developer teams and such as.
I think you read it on
I think
GamersSphere.
you read that from GamerSphere.
Yes!
And we don't know where it came from, but yeah, you should probably Google that. Yeah, you're exactly right. I think that's the great step to go. Now they're giving small developers a chance to, to peddle their own games and do their own thing as they will, instead of having the big wig company do it for them.
See, I'm so happy that Steam is gaining in popularity because of these like discounts and stuff, because that just shows, Sony and Microsoft and all these other companies that model works. If you can discount games and you'll get more money. So that's
Exactly.
just good for everybody.
It didn't always work like that. You remember when Steam first came out? It sucked. Nobody
Exactly.
wanted.
Nobody liked it, but they're improving the model and they're showing people that it works, so they can do the same thing, and I love that.
But if we look at what Steam's doing with the money that it's getting right now, like they're coming out with their own little console or whatever, and I don't know. I think that's overkill. I mean, yeah, they have a good amount of money, but, I'm completely fine with what they're running right now. Good.
I thought they were just taking showers in it.
To be completely honest, I would rather them be doing that than what they're doing right now.
I'm still thinking like exactly what is Valve looking for with their Steam machines. I really don't get it because well, we have really powerful computers. If you see the Steam machines like the Alienware one, it's really freaking expensive, like seriously expensive.
Well, I think that it's really smart on Steam's part, to be honest with you, because Valve rather, I'm sorry. It's really smart on Valve's part because Valve is only developing, I think, one console. They're one Steam machine. They're only developing one, whereas they have a bunch of other people, Alienware, all these different, sites, developing it, and all that's going to do is push sales to Steam and to Valve. Valve is going to make a ton of money off of this. Whether it fails or not, Valve is going to make money because they're only developing one console.
Okay, but if we agree with this and we're like, cool, let's give Valve more money, can we get Half-Life 3, please?
I mean, yeah, I do understand that Valve hasn't honestly been working on their developing of games, and every time I hear of Half-Life 3, Valve tries to give it to a different developer, and then they just drop out.
Half-Life 3 confirmed. You heard it here first.
Yeah, it's just like, never mind, I don't want to do it. I give up. Half-Life 3, no.
It's probably because of the pressure that like everyone is putting on them. Like, oh my God, Half-Life 3, like do it now.
No matter how good that game is, it's gonna be bad because of the expectation.
Exactly.
I never
Yeah.
understood what was that game. Why was that so popular? Like, I don't understand.
The crowbar. It's all about the crowbar.
Crowbar.
I've never played it, so I can't.
It was the first game where the crowbar
But
was effective.
Cassie doesn't count because she doesn't like Pokemon.
I do not like Pokemon.
Cassie's not a real gamer, so.
No, because I don't like some stupid game.
But
Whoa!
There-
Alright, how do you kick people from the call?
There's
No,
one
honestly,
issue in here.
hey.
We cannot kick only Cassie. We need Jimmy in here.
We need to call upon for Jesus and the Felix fossil.
Based Pokemon
Felix
gods,
fossil.
help us.
No,
And,
honestly though, I'm just being a troll. But the only reason I don't like Pokemon is just because I didn't like it when I was a kid, so I kind of like stopped. And I'm not gonna start when I'm 21 years old because that's really sad. So I can't just like jump into it now. Like I can't just be like, oh, I'm a new Pokemon fan
That
when
hurt.
I hated it.
That hurt.
No, but you've grown up with it. It's okay.
All it takes is a first great ball.
She's getting aggressive now.
Yeah.
She's getting aggressive. We backed her into a corner.
I don't. But I don't. If I didn't like it when I was a kid and I didn't grow up with it, I'm not gonna start it now. It's just I can't. It's too late.
But you can.
Oh,
you
you can.
can.
If
I
I
agree with
start
you.
Pokemon when I'm 21 years old,
Why not?
people are gonna think I'm
You know, I'm gonna have to mail you a copy of Pokemon
We
of
have to
Pokemon
have it
Blue
in the-
on a floppy disk.
Get that
I'm gonna
emulator.
have to send it over.
I'd like to iterate that we don't condone bootleg copies on floppy.
No.
That's right. We don't.
Well, at that time I bought it. I don't know.
He bought it on floppy. That sounds legit. Sounds legit.
Well, but here's the thing: if we send her a bootleg copy, we might be, getting into the creepypasta zone, and we don't want to curse her.
Creepy.
Oh, God.
So
Right, this is true. But
Well, yeah.
I want to get back to the Steam thing real quick. Just because Steam at one point had something smart going on until they it's still there, but it's not there, is in last generation consoles when they actually teamed up with the PS3 and certain Valve games that were released, actually all the Valve games that were released on PS3 could play with anybody that had that game on Steam.
Hell yeah. Love
So
it.
it was Steam, Valve started working on a server that would connect PC gamers with the PlayStation gamers.
I loved it.
And then all of a sudden it just kind of like faded, and they didn't continue with it. And then they announced the Steam Box.
Well, see, that was people voting with their wallets. Nobody went for it. Nobody really used it. There's not a whole lot of PS3, PC crossover. Like, there's not a lot of that going on. So it's like nobody bought it.
I think
Well, it was an awesome idea. It just didn't kick off because it wasn't a popular idea. It just wasn't popular. But it was an awesome idea.
I just
I
feel
think
like they didn't try hard enough to make it popular. I think
Yeah,
if it
that's
was
what I'm
popular,
thinking.
They would push it, but I don't think they cared enough.
that's something that a lot of people want is the crossover stuff. Like I talked about this in the pre-show, but the Nintendo's coming out with the new Super Smash Bros. And it's for Wii U and 3DS, and I'm thinking, I would love for that to be a crossover. I would love
see,
that.
that would be the smart thing to do, but see, Nintendo doesn't like.
No, see, at this point, the smart
Understand.
thing to do would be to cut their losses and get rid of the Wii U.
Yes,
That would be their smart.
Exactly. But instead they're actually cutting off the Wii networking, and it's kind of the dumbest idea that I have heard.
Yeah,
Nintendo doesn't know what
Are they?
internet is.
they don't. Yeah.
But
Well,
still-
you're
they're
okay,
still
but you're
stuck in
talking about the
Super Mario
company
World.
that attacked Let's Players for playing their games.
Oh, they're not
Oh,
attacking them.
that's right.
Well, they're not
That's
attacking them. They're
actually
just
right.
taking their money. Like, there's a difference.
Well, remember that they were hitting everyone with the freaking copyright infringement thing, just because they were uploading Let's Play videos of
Yeah, what
their
happened with that
games.
tournament too? Wasn't there like a Super Smash Bros. Tournament that they were like, no, you can't use
I'm
our.
pretty sure they shut that down, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Stupid.
Well, in the end, they didn't end up shutting. The tournament went through, but they had to go through fucking hell trying to get Nintendo to let them do it.
Like, it's free advertising for your game.
I know.
Don't you get it?
The PlanetSide had that same problem. in the beginning, SOE was really they were really suppressive of anything that the player base wanted to do, because they had their thing with MLG, but a lot of the players wanted to put together scrimmages between outfits, and we're talking like 48v48 scrimmages, 192 versus 192.
I think this just spawned our first game on the podcast. We're gonna have a new game where writers can submit topics that Shane has to relate back to SOE, because there's no way that he cannot do it.
But anyways, the players wanted it out. They wanted it, and SOE's like, well, you should go through us to do it. But in the end, the players won because they got really pissed off, and SOE's like, oh shit, we should probably.
They're losing consumers at this point, like.
Yeah, and now we just had a 96v96 server versus server scrimmage just the other week, and that was hugely.
That sounds fucking great. That sounds epic.
Dude, PlanetSide, man, is thousands of players versus thousands of players. This game is the shit. I mean, I haven't seen any other game where you can just drop like 12 different sky transports filled with 12 players and just drop on a point and then go to town on the defenders.
Cassie hasn't seen a game like that either because she hasn't played Pokemon.
Can I bring up a subject really quick that has piqued my interest? With the current Let's Play audience, and I'm pretty sure most know that PewDiePie is like the #1 subscribed person on.
Who's PewDiePie?
Yeah.
Who's PewDiePie?
Who's that?
What?
That's good. But back to what I'm saying. With the current YouTube, hit and everything, what do you think is the best way to advertise a game? Because I'm thinking you're getting, like movies per se. The Devil Inside and Carrie came out with these viral videos of social social experiments. And
those ones were awesome.
Yeah, that went viral, and that was only on YouTube.
See, I don't think there is a best way. I think there are different ways. And I feel like with the whole YouTube thing going on, like, you've got every company has a marketing budget. So you've got your budget to make posters at GameStop. You got your budget for commercials. You got your budget for all these, different trailers, different stuff, different videos playing which way, whatever stores, wherever people, on websites. So you've got that budget to do that. But what I think what a trend that you're going to see it start happening more is taking the game and sending it to the finished game, polished game, sending it to a YouTuber early. They can play it early on their channels, and it will build up the hype for it, because games go gold like weeks before they're actually released, and they can print copies and ship them. And I think that's free marketing for them. Literally the only money that they're losing is the sale of the game to one person.
Yeah,
so they've got way more to gain.
They should also be posting on Reddit. I think a lot of companies don't understand how much power Reddit has for them.
Reddit is the end-all be-all. You're not a hardcore gamer if you don't go on Reddit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I
No,
like
you
Reddit.
don't play Pokemon.
I like Reddit, but it kind of like, I don't know, people are kind of jerks on there a lot.
That's true.
Well, it's the
Reddit
internet.
people-
I mean,
A lot of people on Reddit are assholes.
Yeah, that's kind of why I stay off it.
see, that's funny because the only experience that I've ever had on Reddit is positive. I've never had a bad experience on Reddit.
Well, I'm a girl, so.
Well, that's true too. That's very true.
I mean, look at these guys.
Like, you're a girl, you don't know how to play games. I mean,
When you're playing Pokemon on Reddit,
Whoa.
things will happen.
I'm saying that's what they say to me.
Well, yeah, that's true. I can attest to that.
That's what they
Reddit is
say.
very raw.
It's hard. It's hard when you're trying to play Pokemon on Reddit and you can't do it, and it's
And
man.
it's probably since that you didn't like Pokemon, so like, we're gonna bash this one.
Yeah, if you don't know about Pokemon, you better stay off Reddit.
Reddit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Steer clear. No wonder you're having such a hard time. I think we figured out your problem.
Yeah.
So again, just to solidify this new thing that we're doing, how does Pokemon relate to SOE? There, Shane. How does that come back?
Does it relate
Oh
to
my God.
SOE? Well,
Evolution.
Sony's better than Nintendo, and Sony should do Pokemon.
The end.
Bam! Drop some knowledge on you. Holy shit!
I don't think there's much more to say to that.
That way they can actually add, like, Nathan Drake throwing Pokeballs.
And then I would play it.
Tomb Raider.
Okay, now, no, in
If I
all
was-
seriousness, I want this to happen now. In all
If I
seriousness.
was playing PlanetSide, if I was playing PlanetSide and I suddenly saw fucking Charizard just like spawn in front of me, dude,
I would shit my pants.
I would
Shit my pants.
I would drop ungodly amounts of money in that game.
And then you got the fucking Ouya on your face, and you're like, oh no, I'm sorry, not the Ouya, the Oculus Rift. You got the Oculus Rift on, so you think that Charizard is literally dropping in front of you. New
Well,
bridges will be needed.
I was having a conversation with one of my friends at work one of these days, and we were talking about how much money could Nintendo do just by polishing a little bit of all the Pokemon games that they have for handheld devices and releasing them on Steam.
Oh,
Just
ooh.
imagine that. Everyone, like, seriously, I would spend all my money if they put all of the freaking Pokemon games on Steam to play on the computer.
That
In the
sounds
interest of my
amazing.
bank account, we should need to not do this.
But they'll never do that.
They did that
'cause
with Knights of the
was
Old
easy.
Republic, and it worked out for them.
Well, I've always
They would make
like-
they would make a freak load of money out of that,
Yeah.
just from people like me, for example, that we grew up with Pokemon like everyone normal, you know.
Yeah, okay.
almost normal people.
Like everyone would throw their money, like literally throw their money
yeah,
at
they
Steam.
would.
And
Well,
it's
they
not
did
even
some
just
of that-
that
that
they're
sort of
not
stuff
going to
with,
put it on Steam. I think
But
it's Nintendo's
here you're talking about Nintendo. I don't think they'd want to do anything with Steam
They
with
don't.
anyone at all.
No,
No,
not at all.
they want to be
They're
their own
still-
thing, and
they're
that's
still
not.
stuck in the Super Mario days.
And
They
that,
don't
and that
even
is
wanna-
why-
They don't even want to put Mario on smartphones. I was reading an article. Like, oh no, we don't want to put our games on smart.
Well, I think Nintendo is afraid because, like, what they have to fear is the lawsuit, because if you put that stuff on Steam, there's going to be a lot of broken fingers from trying to jam the mouse down too hard and downloading this too fast. So they're worried about their legal division.
See,
I'm
see,
rolling my eyes at first, and
Well,
then I
that's why
realize you're
Nintendo's
coming up
opening
with a
up health
joke.
insurance, maybe.
There you
see,
go.
Zach, I thought you were going somewhere, serious.
I know, and you never know where I'm going with anything anymore.
Drop that shit on top of your face, you asshole.
I could see your faces like interest going on. You're like,
Yeah,
oh, where's he going? What's
Like,
happening?
Where's he going with this?
Well, no, he's not able to see your face, Ophelia.
I know.
Well, there is a pretty scary looking girl looking at us every time she talks.
She's beautiful. Stop it. Look at that white hair.
Oh,
Oh,
Gracious. No, not you. Your,
flattered.
no, your picture is not. You're not beautiful. Your picture is. We don't know what you look like.
Gee,
Well,
thanks.
apparently.
I kind of do, but you know that Facebook pictures are always like going
Oh,
through
no, they're the
a lot
best
of
of the best.
layers.
You don't put a bad Facebook picture on. You're totally right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I'm Dr. Manhattan over here. I'm fucking blue and naked.
Hey, there's a lot of Facebook photos that are candid, so.
true, and they're
Wait.
always terrible. At least of me, anyway.
Yeah.
I hate them.
I think she was trying to take shots at me. She was like, Zach, your profile picture's ugly. I think that's what she was trying to say.
Maybe.
Quite possibly.
Why?
But yeah, in conclusion, Nintendo, get on Steam is what we're trying to tell
Yeah,
you.
Nintendo, like,
Exactly.
wake up. Like, stop being retarded.
Yeah,
They are
You can't
failing
just tell
right
people
now
to stop
because
being
that.
retarded.
You need to move on from Super Mario 2 days. That's what you need to do. Nintendo.
They're just so out of touch. I just don't think
If they don't reform at this point, they're doomed to go under. Like,
Exactly.
legitimately.
Yeah.
they need
They
to
need to
like.
do some
it's
radical
depressing.
change.
It is depressing. It's extremely depressing.
It's depressing if you're like Cassie and all you do is like Nintendo everything.
Well,
No,
you grew
that
up with those type of games, so you grew up with Mario and you grew up with Pokemon and you grew up with
Pokemon,
Nintendo,
exactly. Yep.
and it's like, oh, here I am hitting college, and it's like, oh, Nintendo's going down. Like
Yeah.
that hurts.
Pokemon was
know.
like the first game I ever played, and it really sucks that shit might go. Like, I might never see a Pokemon game again if Nintendo like goes under. Like,
Pokemon was the first game you
I don't
played.
think that Game Freak would get stuck in there if
Yeah.
Nintendo like left. I'm pretty sure that Game Freak would try its best to get a partnership, get something with someone else that is like
But you know, I can't see Sony or Microsoft grabbing at Game Freak if they lost Nintendo, because they're kind of the more adult versions. Like, if you think of, you know, Nintendo's always coming out with, like, the highest rating they'll give anything is like a T. You know, they're like the gateway drugs in the games or something.
To answer Shane's question, Shane was starting to ask me a question. He said, you know, Pokemon was the first game you ever played. No, Shane. All right, I'm sorry. Winnie the Pooh fucking Adventure. I didn't think counted, but all right.
Dude, that definitely counts.
Okay, my bad. But yeah, that Winnie the Pooh game on N64. If you guys are stuck on that level that I was when I was a kid, Z button.
Oh, no.
Z button is how you bounce.
Zach, what was your first console that you played?
First console I played, I want to say it's PlayStation 2, but I probably, because that was the first console I owned. But no, I'm sorry. And it was N64. It was definitely N64. Okay, I'm sorry. That PlayStation 2 was the first one that was mine. That's what I was.
Mine was a Game Boy Color, like an old one.
With the cartridge you had to blow.
Yeah.
You're right, Shane. I'm sorry. I played NES first. That was the first game I played, because I played that at like my daycare that I used to go to. God damn, you keep bringing back some memories.
Yeah, man. I'm just keeping it real, you know.
So, what was the game that got you guys all into gaming? Like, what game was like, okay, I'm gonna sink some serious time into this, and I love this fucking thing. This is great. Shane, why don't you go first?
I gotta think about that.
It was Mario.
Mario?
Yeah, it was one of the first Marios that came out. You know, with like I said, the console where you had the big humongous cartridge and you had to push in and push it down, and then whenever it wouldn't work, you had to take it out and blow on it. And then
well, no, they advise not to blow on it. What's wrong with it?
It says that on the back.
Nobody listened to that.
No, nobody listened to that shit. Like,
we knew that when you blew on it, it would work.
You get the dust out.
We knew that it would work when you blew on it.
Exactly.
So I didn't know what they were talking about. Yeah,
just like a lot of guys these days, if you blow them, it'll work.
I was waiting for that.
All right, Cassie, what was your game?
My game was Super Mario Brothers. I know it's generic, but that was the first game I ever played on my NES top loader that my cousin actually gave me, because he got a PlayStation and he was like, I don't want this NES anymore. So it came with like a bunch of games, but Super Mario Brothers was like the only one that I played like for hours, and I still love it.
Couldn't stop, like, just couldn't put the controller down.
No, it was bad, and like I used to love playing multiplayer with my friends. I just have a lot of good memories with it. And Super Mario Brothers 3 is definitely, that was another one.
Is that the one that's like, it's kind of like a set piece type thing?
Yeah, like it starts with the curtain.
I couldn't remember if it was 2 or 3 that was like
2,
that.
I don't like 2. It's like so weird.
We're not going to speak about 2. Oh shit, never mind.
Yeah. Jimmy loves 2, but I'm glad he's not here, because I don't like it.
Ophelia, what was yours?
To be completely honest, I don't remember. It was.
Ophelia's OG. She always played games. Like, she doesn't remember a time when she didn't play games.
Dude, that is totally true though, because I was so sure that my first game was Pokemon Yellow, and then I started talking to my mother about, before I moved to Colorado, where I live now. I was born in California, and apparently I was one of the little tiny game testers that went to the Disney headquarters and play tested their games for the little kids.
That's awesome.
To be completely honest, the first game I remember is Pokemon Yellow.
Oh yes,
that's as far as I can remember. To be honest, like, I can't really solidly remember any of the games I had play tested as a little kid. And like I know the first PC game I played was Maple Story. But yeah, apparently I've been gaming since I was really young. Too young, I can't remember. So.
OG Ophelia, I like that. What about you, John? What was your first? Not first, but one that got you into it.
Well, you know, I was actually trying to clear my memory through Google. And I found the
Understandable.
game that actually got me into that. There was this PC game, a platformer called Dave.
Dave.
I don't really think that if any of you remember it actually.
I don't even know what that is.
Gave.
Dave.
Dave. D-A-V-E.
Exactly. Look
Dave.
look. I am pasting in here on the chat a little link to images of that game. That game was awesome. It led my freaking childhood, and it was like really a long game and challenging as well. I played it while I was supposed to be doing some work at school, at the primary school. I was playing that game, and then went back to Micromundos.
And if you're watching the video right now, I'm kind of pulling it up on the screen here. This is what Dave looks like. Dangerous Dave. I'm sorry.
Dangerous Dave.
Dangerous Dave. That's what it kind of looks like if you guys can see on my screen. But we're gonna get back to the hangout now.
I see Naked Blue Man. I don't see anything else.
So my original game that kind of got me into it. It's gonna sound a little bit bad. It's gonna sound bad, to be honest with you. I had played, the Super Smash Brothers on the N64. Loved that game. I sunk so much time into Pokemon 2, I cannot even tell you. But I would say that the first serious game that really got me into gaming as a whole, because those games were kind of their own separate experiences. But the thing that got me into the world of gaming and opened up my eyes to all these different types was in 2004. I was 11 years old, and Killzone came out, and I saw it, and I don't know why. I never saw it on TV or anything. I just kind of was looking for a game to play, and my mom was going to buy me a game, and I was like, I want that one. And she was like, this game's rated M. I'm not going to buy you this game. And I'm like, no, I want that one. And she's like, I'm not going to get it for you. And I was like, all right, Dad. And he got it for me. So I played the original Killzone when I was 11 years old. Sounds fucking terrible. That's not good. If you're 11 years old, don't play that game. But I played it with my dad and my sister, who was even younger than me at the time. She just watched us play. And I remember playing that game with my dad and just getting lost in the world. I loved the original Killzone more. I think that's probably my favorite game of all time is the original Killzone, just because that game just brought me into it. And it's just the memory of playing with my dad and stuff. My dad and I we're never really all that close. We don't get into fights all the time, or we're not at each other's throats, but we just never really connected on a lot of stuff. And Killzone was one thing that we just loved together, and we had such a blast playing it. And I think that was the game that just brought me into it. And
let's have another question here, though. At what age were you when you played your first M-rated game?
11.
Oh God.
Rated?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Ophelia, we were absolutely 17 years old because that's the legal age that you need to
I
play
know,
that game.
right?
Come on, gee.
Oh my God. This is embarrassing.
I was 6 or 7 years old when I obtained a copy of Mortal Kombat.
I love how he didn't get a copy, he obtained it.
He obtained it.
He had to search for that shit.
Well, that actually reminded me that Mortal Kombat was my first game as well on that sort, and it was the only gift from my dad that I remember right now, and I was 4 or 5.
Wow.
And I thought I was young. Jesus Christ. These guys have no parental supervision. Fucking God.
I think I was 15 when I got my first M-rated game, and that was
I'm not that bad though.
9. It was 999, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors for DS. And I did a review on that game and
Whoa,
its sequel.
Nintendo released a game that was M-rated? What the fuck?
Yeah,
is
it's
going
pretty
on?
rare.
Yeah, right? I did a review on that and its sequel, Last Resort, and I could go on and on about
OG
those two
Ophelia
games.
going on again with the first M-rated game she played, she fucking reviewed. Ophelia's not taking any shit.
Yo, I mention that game and I start to freak out because that's one of my favorite games. I've played 999 so many times. I've gotten an emulator just to play it again because I don't have the cartridge, but...
Ophelia,
So,
what's
we
an
have
emulator?
back
We don't
to
know what that
Blu-ray.
is here. We don't know what
What's
an
a
emulator
cartridge?
Oh, I'm sorry.
But if we're gonna talk about M-rated Nintendo games, let's not forget about Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh, yes.
The
I'm gonna
game
go
that-
ahead and forget
the
about
game
that because I have no
Nintendo
clue.
absolutely had no idea that Rare was making, released one day, and Nintendo was furious.
Dang.
Oh, man.
I
I mean, that
remember-
game's pretty... I don't know how I
remember.
feel about that game, to be completely honest.
I actually remember reading the interview of how Conker's Bad Fur Day came to be when the guy was making a normal Conker's Bad Fur Day. It was going to be like rated E. It was just going to be a normal Conker with a slingshot, just how it used to be.
And then he came into the office drunk.
No, actually, Nintendo kept telling him to change it, make it different. Let's have something different. So he went through like 5
Really?
different ones.
Next thing you know, they're launching dildos across map.
He's just like, you know what? You're just gonna see it when it releases. I'm not even gonna bother to show it to you.
Well, shit.
And then
Oh
it
my
released, and Nintendo. And if you actually go through interviews of Nintendo during that release time, and when people ask them about it, they try to just be like, you know, well, this game's coming out,
Pretend
and the
it didn't
GameCube's
happen.
coming, you know. And then the next thing I know, like not too long after Conker's Bad Fur Day, Nintendo sold Rare to Microsoft,
That is
Which,
great.
you know,
which was an awful idea
terrible.
because Rare made almost.
Yeah, but it's good for their interest because they're not making games they're interested in. Like that's not what they want to push. So I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, they were the guys that made 007 GoldenEye for the N64. They made all the Donkey Kong countries, and
Donkey Kong 64.
and Donkey Kong 64. They made a lot of the big Nintendo games, and Nintendo just slapped them in the face and said, "Leave."
Well, they did come up with Conker's Bad Fur Day, and
Which
yeah, was it a slap in the face or was it a counterattack after they released that
yeah,
game like
I'm
on the
thinking
system?
it was a counterattack because
Yeah, I know
I'm
they don't want
sorry,
that.
but
And-
when
and
that
then-
game came out, to be completely honest, it was so hushed. No one
Yes,
talked
it
about
was.
it because of how horrible it was.
loved that game.
Well, not horrible, but of how controversial it was, you know, and it was just so, and then when I actually got my hands on that game and I was like, I'll play this little kid's game and have a bunch of fun, and then I was like, what in the hell did
I
I just
love
get
that game.
myself into?
What the fuck, dude?
Oh my god.
And like, the fact is, believe it or not, Rare made the Kinect for Microsoft. It was like one of those things that like.
I'm surprised Microsoft didn't sell them then.
Well, I mean, no, the Kinect made them a lot of money, and like,
Yo, fuck the Kinect, Jimmy. Stop it. Stop trying to defend them.
No.
Stop defending them.
like Nintendo's losing money. What if they were making money now? If they
Whoa, wait. Where did John go? What the fuck? Am I the only
He's
one?
Right back.
Oh, I didn't even see that. All I
Yeah.
saw was him gone. I'm like, where the fuck? Oh, I can see it on the screen now. It's in the chat side. I love how whoever's, the viewers can see that, and they're probably sitting there like, Zach, you're a fucking idiot. He said he'd be right back. I apologize. I'm dumb. But anyway.
Hey, you said it, not us.
Yeah, thanks, Shane. And I wanted to record with you. I'm so glad that I found a new partner in a few.
You couldn't handle the truth.
I thought you were gonna say I couldn't handle something else, but all right.
No, wasn't gonna go there.
Only I was going there. Okay, my bad.
I'm gonna say time right now, but we're looking at about hour and 15 minutes so far. Just
Yeah.
Just the
Yeah, I
heads
was
up.
actually about to say that because we don't really know what the audience kind of wants at this point. I kind of was thinking about ending it soon. I feel like an hour is good for like an informational, straight up informational podcast, but a lot of conversational ones go to like 2 hours ish. So I feel like this is kind of like a good in between area that we can kind of stop and kind of gauge what the audience wants. Good. John just got back, so we can end it. But all right, so we're gonna wrap it up here.
John's
Please,
back, already looked at it.
Oh, damn,
please-
I'm late.
please feel free to leave your comments telling us what you think about the podcast, any suggestions, things we can talk about, things we can discuss. If you have any questions for the group, go ahead and leave them in the comments section below. Yeah, that's going to be it. So everybody say goodbye.
Bye!
Bye.
Bye. All right, see you later, guys.
Bye.
All right, I stopped recording.
Okay.
Okay.